So if you're thinking of moving to Littleton and you're struggling with knowing what the top neighborhoods are that you should be looking at, well, we're going to go over the top 5 neighborhoods in Littleton today that you really want to explore. We're going to have some incredible mid-century modern, some horse property, just some really down-to-earth, incredible homes in a great location. Littleton is one of the top suburbs in the Denver metro area. But when you look at it on a map, you might be a little bit confused because you're going to see Littleton proper, and then you're also going to see kind of these vast areas to the west of Littleton that go all the way even to the foothills. And so it might be a little bit confusing, but we're going to dig deep into these neighborhoods, show you what's available, what sort of price ranges you're looking at so you can make the best decision for you and your family. So the first neighborhood we're going to start with is west of downtown. It is Arapaho Hills. Now, most people have never heard of this neighborhood. Why? Because it's within another neighborhood and it's only 56 homes. Now, these are crazy, wild, mid-century modern homes. And if you are looking to be in Arapaho Hills, you might have to wait a couple of years because even in the last 10 years, there's only been a good handful of properties that have sold. These are handed down from generation to generation because they are so unique. Now, when it comes to mid-century modern homes, you either love them or you hate them. Myself, I'm a little on the fence about them. I can really appreciate the architecture. I love the feeling of them, but a lot of times the furniture kind of turns me off a little bit and it doesn't seem as inviting as I want my home to feel. But like I said, it's a very particular taste, and if you love mid-century modern homes, Arapaho Hills is a great place to look. Now, price-wise, this is really goofy. So there's 56 homes, and there's only been a handful to sell in the last 5 to 10 years. So when you look back at the historic numbers, what are they worth today? No idea. You can probably expect to spend, when I look at other mid-century modern neighborhoods in Denver, probably around that $600 to $900 per square foot. Most mid-century modern homes are not big. They're 1,000 to 1,500 square feet. And so I know in other neighborhoods in Denver that are particularly mid-century modern homes, $1 million for about, 1,200, 1,300 square feet is not abnormal. But I mean, look at these things. This pulls you back to being in the Jetsons, with this furniture, with these light fixtures. Like, there's a real appeal to them, but you might have to be put on a wait list if you want to be in Arapaho Hills. And for those of you who are new, welcome. My name's Alex Saldana. I've been a local Denver real estate agent since 2010. I love answering your questions, and I love Littleton. So if you have any questions about Littleton or any other suburbs around the Denver area, give me a call, shoot me a text message anytime. I got you covered. Number 2 on our list for Littleton is actually, I'm combining 2 areas here, which is Ridgewood and Golden West Park. So these fall just south of downtown Littleton by about half a mile, handful of blocks or so. Now, what makes this such an appealing, first of all, location beyond being close to downtown is access to the trail right north of you, which is Lee Gulch Trail. So you can take that trail for miles in either direction, hop on a bike, go for a walk with your dogs. Like, it is literally out your back door. And now, housing wise, what you're going to find in these neighborhoods is good size houses, 2, 3, even up to 4,000 square foot houses. So they work for most families, lots of 2 stories, lots of ranches. But when you drive through this neighborhood, like, the lots are a good size, the trees are old and mature and give a ton of shade, and it's just what you're really looking for out of most neighborhoods. And price range wise, it's not terrible. I mean, you can get into this neighborhood for around the 700s, but you can spend up to about $1 million for something that is fully updated and completely ready to go, that is decked out. Now, most of these homes were built in the 60s and the 70s. So if you like the quality of the construction, then you get a lot of brick ranches, and they're on 12,000 square foot lots for the majority of the homes. So older, just a more mature neighborhood. This is definitely kind of your move up category. You're going to have a little bit of an older population that lives here. We're talking people in their 40s to 50s. Not going to be a lot of young folks here, so it's going to be a little bit quieter. And with its location and the trail just right above you, just south of downtown Littleton. Like, there's a huge draw to people to want to be in a good, solid neighborhood, and Ridgewood and Golden West neighborhoods, they just check all those boxes. Number 3 on our list, I combined 2 neighborhoods because they're right next to each other, Mountain Range View and Shady Croft Acres. This is probably my favorite part of Littleton. It's a segment of about 100 houses or so between these 2 neighborhoods. Now, these just fall east of the last neighborhoods we looked at and just a little bit south. So again, you're just south of downtown Littleton by a little bit, so ease of access is great. Now, these properties are bigger. On the smaller side, it's about 3/4 of an acre up to about 2 acres on the bigger size. Now, when you compare Mountain Range View and Shady Croft Acres dollar for dollar in comparison to the rest of the Denver metro area for the size of the lots, size of the homes, and quality of the homes, it's one of the best values in the Denver metro area, in my opinion, if you're looking for land. Now, yes, you do have to spend some money. They start at about 1.5, and I think they top out in the 3 million zone. But look at some of these houses. They are just incredible. High level of quality workmanship, big lots laid out really, really well. You don't get a lot of through traffic coming down your streets. Like, if you don't live in the neighborhood, you're not just driving around there unless you've heard of them and you're wondering if a property is for sale. And in the last 4 years, there's been approximately 17 properties between these 2 neighborhoods that have sold. So you're only going to see a handful every single year. So these are the neighborhoods that you really just kind of put on a wait list. You have a search running. You're ready to jump. You don't need to move. You don't have to move. But if something came up in these neighborhoods, like, you'd be ready to jump and pounce as soon as they did. Next up on our list at number 4 is the neighborhood of Southbridge. So we're going a little bit further south, a little bit further east than the other neighborhoods we were just looking at. Now, the appeal to this neighborhood is that it was built in the 80s and 90s, so you get a larger home with a little bit smaller lots. So these are more on the 8 to 10,000 square foot lot sizes, not as much as the Ridgewood Park area, but you have good sized homes, 2,500 to 4,000 square feet, and the price ranges here range from anywhere from about $650 up to about 1.2 for the newer stuff built in the 90s. That is well more updated. And coming in at number 5 on our list is the Columbine Country Club. Now, location-wise, this is on the other side of 85 or Santa Fe, and it's still close to downtown Littleton, but this is right on the golf course. World-renowned golf course. You do have to have a membership or have someone a member and be their guest to golf here. It's not a public course, but these homes are remarkable. Again, not a ton of these sell every single year, and you're talking houses that are 3,000 up to 8,000 square feet, starting, mid 1 million would be inexpensive to get into this neighborhood, up to about 4 million. So this community was actually originally built in the early 60s. So you get a lot of the sprawling ranches that are 4,000 square feet and maybe not updated. So if you're going to get into it, you might have to be willing to do a big renovation because, like I said, not many homes in this neighborhood sell. Almost all of them back up to one of the holes on the golf course. It's a 27-hole golf course. They have a walking only 9-hole 3-par course. It's a great little community here. Some of the homes have been built in the 80s or 90s, and those are going to be the ones that you really see stand out at the $2.5 to $4 million range. Now, there is way more to Littleton than just these 5 neighborhoods, and if you want to get a touring drive of all of Littleton and what it has to offer, watch this video right here.